Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. Today I have a very exciting video, for me at least, because it is a haul video. I finally went to Shoppers Drug Mart and redeemed my Optimum points and got a ton of new products that I have been dying for the longest time to try out. Let's get started with a couple of hair products that I picked up. This is the Infusium 23 Color Defender Dry Shampoo, and it's a newer product in the drugstore. I haven't seen it, at least. Today was the first time that I actually saw it on the shelf. And it was only $4.99. It was on sale, and I don't mind the scent of it. So those are three things I love about dry shampoos. I haven't tried this one yet, but of course I will let you guys know in a future video what I thought about it. If you guys have used it, of course leave it in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. And hopefully that is just something that's going to give my hair a little bit of texture and absorb a little bit of excess oil if it went 1 or 2 days that I should have probably washed my hair. Happens to all of us. The next thing that I saw was the Nexus Humectress mask, and this is the Caviar Complex Concentrated Protein. It looks like this. I think it looks a lot fancier than it actually is, just because it comes in a box, but it does open up, and the product is right here. So it's just a jar. You get 190 grams, and this was also on sale. It was about $12.99 as a sale price. So I'm hoping that that's a really good mask. I'm always looking for a new hair mask. You guys know how much I love my Aussie one that's $2.99 when it's on sale, but I thought I would try something new just because it gets really redundant talking about the same product over and over, but some of them I just can't help it because that's how much I love them. And then the entire haul, this is the only thing that is actually a repurchase for me. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser for Dark Circles in the Brightener shade. So I previously had picked up, I have the light one and I have the neutralizer one, and both of them were a little bit too on the yellow side for me. So I really did prefer the pink tone of this one underneath of my eyes. I picked up some CoverFX products. As you guys may or may not know, CoverFX is going to be leaving Shoppers Drug Mart in the near future. So they had a good deal on a couple of their products, and I did pick up some of their blotting powders. I know a lot of people that have oilier skin types, and they really do like this powder because they can add it kind of to their face through the day just to absorb some excess oil and give them a little bit of coverage. So the box comes like this, and the compact looks like this. I did get the medium and the light shade, and they just come with your standard little beauty puff, and then the product itself is just your basic compact. I also picked up the CoverFX Illuminating Primer, and this is something that I'm quite excited to try because obviously my skin is dry. Anything that says illuminating or hydrating, I'm all for it. If it does end up breaking my skin out, I'll probably give it to somebody else or I'll find a use for it. I always do, but I am excited to try that. The CoverFX Pressed Mineral Foundation, I got this in the shade G20. Now, this is something that I'm not positive is even going to match me, but again, like I said, I can always put it in my freelance kit. The color has a very strong yellow undertone, so for anyone that has a little bit of redness in the skin, it would be a great powder for them. And I know that the mineral foundations from CoverFX do give a really nice coverage on the skin, so I know for sure that I will get use out of that. And then the last things that I picked up from CoverFX were actually some brushes. So 3 brushes that I picked up from the brand. The first one is the concealer brush. So this is just a very basic concealer brush. It has a very flat tip and it is quite fine. I never used to like these brushes, whether it be concealer or foundation, and I just didn't like the way that the flat kind of paddle brush applied my foundation. I always found that I had to go in anyway with my fingers and blend, so I just kind of decided to get rid of that step and use my fingers to apply. But since I've been wearing, as you guys probably have noticed, darker lip colors, I really do like to dip into some concealer on the back of my hand and just kind of trace the outline to make sure that everything is nice and clean. My lips are very uneven naturally, so it is a little bit of a job to get dark lipstick on, and it will never be perfect. So that's just something that I've accepted, and we're going to move on from it. The CoverFX Cream Foundation Brush. This, I'm not really sure what I'm going to use it for yet because I'm not a huge fan of cream foundations, but it's a really nice brush. It is nice and dense, but it's still very soft at the same time. So I'm kind of going to play around with that with a couple of different foundations and see if it's something that I will like to use for that. I can see it being something nice for blending out cream contour as well because it is a good size to get right into the hollows of the cheek. And I have a product that this might work well with that I'll show you guys here in a couple of minutes. The liquid foundation brush, this is more the type of foundation brush that I like to use. So it is quite small, it's not big by any means, and it is a flat top. It's quite dense, but it does have a little bit of give to it. For size reference, I'm just kind of looking at my brushes here. This one's dirty because I used it this morning, but this is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and that is the Cover FX. So there's definitely a size difference. I personally like my foundation brushes to be a little bit smaller. Last year, I remember I bought this one from Sephora. This is the Airbrush Natural Finish 55, and this one was just way too big for foundation. I actually use it for powder now. One more brush that I picked up as well is a new one from Lise Watier, and this is called the Perfecting Concealer Brush, and it is a little stubby baby. But it is so nice and thick and dense. And what this actually turned out to be really awesome for is the Lise Watier Portfolio Concealer. So the next thing that I went for was something that I've been using a lot of lately. I have so many lip liners in my collection, but to be honest, it's not that I'm bored of the colors, but you always just want to try something new. And these ones here are from Annabelle. They are the Big Show Gel. And I got them in the shade Meet Rosie and Royal Purple. Meet Rosie is going to be on the top, and then Royal Purple is on the bottom. Now, the thing that I liked about these lip liners when I picked them up is they're extremely, extremely smooth. So they're not dry at all. I really did have a little bit of a hard time taking the swatch off of my hand, which is always a good thing for me with lip liners. And these, I think, were around $9.99 each, so they weren't by any means a cheap drugstore option, but they're cheaper than something like MAC or Urban Decay. And hopefully I'm really going to love these. To be honest, I'm not even really sure what these things are called. I know they're made by L'Oreal, obviously, and they're part of the Infallible line because they last forever, but they're the two-step lip products that look like these. So I got two different shades. They come with the color on one side, and then you flip them over and they have the balm. The one I'm actually wearing right now is this one. This is number 217 Cherry Noir. And then I went the exact opposite with this one, and this is number 119 Never Ending Nutmeg. So those are the two colors that I picked up there. That dark color is really what I'm going after right now for fall, as you guys can tell. But like I said, you put these on and they last all through the day. I do find that they will get a little bit cakey if you try to apply them over. So if I do get to a point in the day where I want to reapply, I will completely remove it and then start from fresh. Because sometimes if you keep layering it over and over, it just gets to be a little bit too much. One more lip product. Believe it or not, you guys, when I was shopping, I ended up putting back like 4 or 5 lip products that I had picked up. It just seems to be the mood that I'm in. I'm all about the lip colors. But this is the Maybelline lipstick. This is from the Bold collection, and it's number 770 Mauve. They're so creamy, and they go on so well. This is the shade right here on the bottom. I finally got my hands on the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. This is something that I have been wanting to try forever, like for the longest time. I'm so excited to try this and see if this has the same amount of coverage that I can get from the matte one, but still leave me with that luminous kind of satin finish. Next face product is from Maybelline. This is the Maybelline Master Contour by Face Studio V-Shape Duo Stick Contour and Highlight. Super long name. I got mine in the shade 10 Light. The reason that this one drew me in the first place was because the contour shade on one side of the stick is perfect for people that have more fair skin and want that contoured look with all the shadows, but they don't want something that's number 1 too dark or number 2 too warm. So it's the perfect, really cool color. I'll do a little mild swatch there on the bottom. And it is something that can easily be blended out. It's not something that's going to leave you with any harsh lines. What I do recommend, and what I see happening with this already, is I'm probably going to go in with a small, like my e.l.f. small stipple brush, and kind of pick some product up and apply it that way. Because I feel like a few times after using it and actually putting the stick on your face, you're going to get a little bit of transfer between the highlight color and the contour color. The only other thing I noticed was I feel like you don't get a ton of product. Like that's as far as the product rolls up. So that side is the highlight and this side is the contour. The highlight shade is really nice as well. I feel like that is actually going to make a difference on my really light skin, which is a nice change because sometimes I feel like the contour color can be great and then the highlight shade is basically an eyeshadow because it's too dark. And on skin like mine, at least, that's almost the color of the wall behind me, you need something that's really going to give you that brightening effect. And then the last thing, this is something that I wanted to buy so bad. I didn't even know it was coming. It came into the store and I was like, What is that? Why have I not seen that on social media? I had no idea this was coming. This is huge. It's a drugstore powder. It's a highlighting powder, which is rare for the drugstore. L'Oreal tried last year, but they were really not, they weren't that great. But this is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. Looks like this. So I don't know if you guys are even going to be able to tell on camera, but that is something that I'm really excited to use. It does look a little bit darker than I would like in the pan. Putting it up against one of my favorites, which is the Highlight 01 Laura Mercier Baked Bronze, or Baked Highlight. It is a little bit darker, not by much, but I'm hoping that it is really going to give me that really glowy effect, because that is what I'm going for all year round. That's one thing that never changes. I very, very rarely go for a very matte finish. I just like the way that things look when they're reflective and they catch the light. So that was everything for the haul. Like I said, I have a lot of trying out to do. Optimum points are a wonderful way to go out and spend a ton of money on makeup and not pay a lot of money for it. All of these products came to just over $30 with the tax. And if you don't live in Nova Scotia like I do and you're not paying 15% tax, it would be even cheaper than that. So thank you guys again for watching until the end, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.